Hello, John Burley here, January of 2023, and I want to talk today about making offers on the MLS. I know lots and lots of real estate investors act like, the MLS is bad and working with an agent is bad, and I never put money down for loans, and I don't sign for loans, and I don't do this and I don't do that, and they end up eliminating 90 to 95% of the houses. Because wherever you live, 88 to 95% of all the deals are done off MLS. So we better learn how to play MLS, and MLS has completely changed. We've got some new modern elements, and then we've got old school elements that we got to put in. Right now, as I travel across the country and talk to students all over the country, I'm finding MLS is in three places. So the first thing we got is we've got Delusion 101 real estate listing going on. So about a third of the people that are listing their houses on MLS literally are like at a February or March 2022 price that is never going to happen. And these houses sit on the market for 9 months to 6 months, and then they just delist or stay there forever because they're not even in the vague ballpark. So those we're avoiding. They're not worth even putting an offer in. It's a waste of your time. So don't do those. The next third, this is the third that's moving pretty well. See, if your house is in the top 20% for its neighborhood, that would be condition and fairly priced, it's flying off the shelf. So whether we're in the C neighborhoods, the B neighborhoods, the A neighborhoods, whether it's your own home to live in, whether it's an investment grade property, which would be the Class B, because we don't invest in Class C, and we'll talk about that in another podcast, why. Those are moving right away. They're still going in 30, 60 days. For those houses, it's business as normal. And that's about a third of the MLS. Now, the other third is where I want to talk. So if you get one in the second third, that's just fairly priced, numbers work today, you can go in, be a little aggressive but not crazy, and get it for a little under offer, and then you're there. The other third is the one I want to talk about. These are the ones that are not in the big delusion pricing, but with that said, they're priced a little too high. So they're going to get showings, but they're not going to move. They just sit and sit. And those are the ones where there's the biggest amount of opportunity for us. See, because we're in an era, just like every other boom, we have our good times. This is my fifth downturn. So there's good times and then the downturn. And when there's a downturn, you usually have a whole new generation of real estate agents who just quite frankly are not very experienced. They're very, very new, and they haven't been well trained. And now it's even made more because of the whole COVID thing. Because suddenly people think salespeople don't need to go into the office anymore. Salespeople who are new don't need to be properly trained live, one-on-one. Salespeople who are new don't need to be around the people who are on the top of the boards, the high-end professionals who have been doing it for 10, 20, 30 years, who know exactly how to work in this market. And that is a horrible thing that's happening right now. It's happening in all of the equities, the securities, the stock market, all those things. Sales and customer service are just plummeting because nobody knows what to do who's new in a bad market, in an off market, in a down market. So we've got all these listings, and the agents never even ask basic questions, really basic questions like, why are you selling? Okay, so why are you really selling and finding out? They've never asked, are your payments current? What do you do if the house doesn't sell in 90 days? None of these questions have been asked, so these houses are just listed. And, you got people out there who literally, if it was a $500,000 house, you got a bunch of people out there at $900,000. So they want $900,000, which was the high price in February or March of 2022. And then you got a bunch of people that are priced at 500. And then you got the second third, they're at 550 or 600. It's not going to sell at that price. But these are the ones where there's often a really good opportunity. See, most of the ones, the second third, so first third, too high. Second third, priced right, house in good condition. Those ones aren't getting overly lowballed because the agents know what they're doing. They priced it appropriately. They may need to move 5 to 10%, but there's nothing crazy. The last third, these are the ones that they're not in delusion, but they're overpriced. Those ones we are consistently finding right now across the board. We were just up in Colorado, and it was the same thing in Colorado. It was the same thing. I talked to somebody from Cheyenne, Wyoming. It's the same thing all across the country. Those third, you can come in 25, 30, 35% below asking price, which puts it well below market. And they're saying yes because they're not getting offers and they need to sell, and the agents don't know this. We're also seeing some students that have been reaching out to me in the last month who are literally getting deals off MLS for 40 to 60% below what the value is today. So yeah, off market's great, but if you're newer, Off market takes a long time to develop. This isn't an infomercial. You don't get rich overnight, instantly doing nothing. You got to work for it. So I'm really liking the MLS plays right now. And we're specifically the third that's just Delusion 101. Don't waste your time with it. Just throw them away. Don't look at them. Don't waste your time with it. The second third that's priced fairly and in the good condition for the property and the market it is, those ones you can make offers on. However, when you start getting aggressive and going 15, 20% plus below, they're more likely to be represented by good agents who know the difference, who've been around, who are going to counsel them, counter, but bring that back up. The other third, the third that's out in the wind that most people are ignoring because it's overpriced by a bit, 10, 20%, those ones you can hit 25, 35%, sometimes 40 to 60%. We're making aggressive offers on those, and that's where you should go. Now, the other thing you got to remember on those, hey, we're no longer in pretend you have money to buy real estate. That era is over with the boom. We are back to cash is king, or cash and a real loan letter is king. So the internet phony letters, look guys, the realtors figured this out, even the new ones. Those are bogus letters, and you're not assigning these contracts easy peasy like the old days. So right now, cash offers are offers with cash and approval, and the approval that they want to see is from a real bank, a local bank, usually a community bank, where everybody knows this is a real letter, this is real money, this is really going to happen, especially if you're an investor and you're buying out of an LLC, which is what you should be doing. So the third that are a little above market, those ones, get out there right now, get out there aggressive with your money and start buying those houses. There is a lot of softness and a lot of weakness in the market, and it's just going to get better and better and better. Most houses in most markets right now literally are going down in value by 1/4 to 0.5% or more per week. That doesn't mean the market's collapsing. It doesn't mean the prices are coming down 1/4 to 0.5%. It means they bought it in 19 for $350. It may have hit $650 or $700 in March of 2022. Today in January 23, that house is going from $500 to $497 to $494. It's going down. So they're still playing with profits, just not as much. So it doesn't mean the market's going to slide. It doesn't mean we're losing all this value. And it only shows on the ones that sell, and they're not selling. And the big reason a lot of them aren't selling is because, guys, you're not making offers. So start making the offers, start buying. Remember, always do a transaction where you win. Make sure the numbers line up for you and not for the other person. They decide whether the offer's a win, not you. So again, summarize. The 1/3 that's right at or a little above what it should be priced, those ones were hitting hard, 25 to 35% below asking price. Getting counters, going back to old school negotiations, going back and forth. And the more your realtor or you as a realtor are talking directly with the other realtor, the more likely a deal happens. We are no longer in the text and email era. We are back to human beings talking face to face, or at least over the phone. So get out there, start negotiating, start buying houses. This is John Burley. We look forward to seeing you. Make sure and click the like button below. Make sure to subscribe, and we look forward to talking to you again soon. Thank you, and God bless. Take care.